Would you stop?
What?
That marching thing you're doing.
I'm a little nervous, okay?
Well, I'm the one who spent the night in jail.
Yeah, well, you'd never know it. You're so calm, so cool. You're completely in denial.
Because I didn't kill David. I wouldn't kill David. Now we just need to prove that.
How? You're locked up in here with a boatload of evidence against you, including those bogus suicide letters you wrote.
They worked for a while, didn't they?
Oh, my God, Greenlee. I don't know whether to scream or smack you silly. Saving Ryan by sacrificing yourself is not being noble, it's reckless. And he'd be the first one to tell you that.
I know, Thanks for your advice. But if I started to list all the crazy things you've done to protect the people you love, we'd be here all week.
Okay, fine. Make it about me.
I know what I'm doing.
No, you don't. But I'm tired of trying to convince you.
Well, if you had another plan, I'd say let's go for it. But right now, I think the only option I have is to go to the police and tell them that I didn't find that digitalis in my hotel room, that I found it in Ryan's jacket. If I do that, he spends the rest of his life in prison. That's not going to bring David back, and it's not going to happen. So, get on the bus or get out of here.
Okay, let's try and look at the bright side. Is there one?
Number one, I'm innocent. Number two, I have enough money to hire the best lawyers in the world.
Yeah, one of which happens to be your father, who's a great lawyer, but you won't
Kendall?
call him. What?
May I finish?
And?
Number three, I'm going up against Liza Colby, who's been a lawyer for, 5 minutes?
Oh, I wouldn't underestimate Liza.
I wouldn't underestimate me.
I never would.
Finally, a semi-positive word. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I give you a more sincere thank you now?
You can grovel at my feet if you'd like.
Don't push it. But I really do owe you. You've stuck your neck out for me, and I know you've put your marriage on the line in the process.
Well, God knows you don't make it easy. But I don't want to see you locked up for the next 20 years.
You still care?
I just don't want to run a cosmetics company with a partner sporting hard, grizzled prison skin. That's all.
You still care about my skin, then? I'll settle for that. David.
Sorry I'm a little late. I need to speak to my client alone, if you don't mind.
Yes, no, of course.
No, wait. She's my friend. I want her to stay.
Very well. All right, let's begin.
Well, I'm innocent. How about we begin with that?
Well, that's all well and good, Mrs. Hayward, but our first priority should be to try to neutralize some of the prosecution's stronger points.
Okay.
They're going to try to establish that you had strong motive and opportunity to kill Dr. Hayward.
But I didn't. Yes, I wanted out of our marriage, but I didn't want David dead, and I'm very sorry that he is.
And I understand that. But that vial of digitalis the police found in your car is particularly troublesome. We need to explain how it got there.
Yes, I know.
Well?
I found it on the floor of my hotel room, and I stuck it in my car, and I forgot about it. I was married to a doctor. There are all kinds of medications around.
And was Dr. Hayward in the habit of leaving potentially dangerous medications on the floor?
No, I don't know.
The DA is also going to try to match your handwriting to the signatures on the suicide letters.
Well, I did type them and sign them.
Mrs. Hayward, please.
What?
You just admitted to a crime in front of a potential witness, which is why she shouldn't be here in the first place.
She knows. I already told her that I forged them.
Well, we've done much worse.
Mr. Michelson, this is why I hired you. You have a reputation for winning the tough cases.
And I will fight this one with everything I have, I can assure you, but I'm an attorney, not a magician. So I'm just going to say this to you up front. How would you feel about a plea bargain if we could limit the prison time?
No plea deals. I did not kill my husband. That man saved my life. In the end, he hurt me, and the trust was gone, but I will never stand up and say that I murdered him. Is that clear enough for you?
Well, your bail hearing is in an hour.
I just got here, Miss Colby.
Well, look at that. You got an entire hour to prepare.
Don't worry. I can afford bail, whatever the amount.
That is, if the judge grants bail.
Well, of course he's gonna grant. No, you wouldn't. You would not deny bail.
Why?
Flight risk, among other things.
Oh, come on, you know that she's not going anywhere.
Right, like you've never fled the law. And you do remember that your good friend over here did manage to disappear for an entire year while the world, including you, thought she was dead.
Most of the time, I was unconscious.
Greenlee, save your breath, okay? Liza's only interested in scoring political points.
And you're very lucky to still be here and not in jail, tampering with evidence in a murder case. Now, would you please excuse us? I'd like to talk to Greenlee and her attorney alone, please.
What do you think?
Well, I'm stuck here. There's no point in the both of us having to put up with her.
Well, at least you're consistent. You're doing what you've done the second you came back to Pine Valley. You're screwing over everyone you meet.
The evidence you have against my client is completely circumstantial.
I know, but there's more and more of it every day. So, tell me about the threat you made to kill David.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, but I have a witness that heard you loud and clear.
That's ridiculous. Who would say something like... Madison.
I strongly advise you not to comment.
Well, apparently, it made quite an impression on Miss North. Unless you're denying the death threat.
What difference would it make if I did? You've already got me tried and convicted.
No, that's not me. Greenlee, that's a jury, after they see all this overwhelming evidence against you.
I don't suppose it means anything to you that I didn't do this.
Because you said so. No, because I don't believe you.
Oh, right. Right, as if the truth means anything to you at all. What is it exactly that you get out of this, Liza? Do you just love the attention?
You know, David's dead, and he was a friend. Believe it or not, I actually cared about him.
Believe it or not, so did I.
You know, Greenlee, putting on these acts really isn't going to fool anyone. Oh, and if you think that you're going to try and win over the jury's sympathy by painting David as a bad guy that broke your heart, I'm going to make sure that they're aware of all of his flaws, right up front, including that blackmail.
I'm sure you'll do a masterful job.
Oh, yeah, well, you can count on that. Actually, this one is going to be really quite the compelling story of a man that was so desperate to hold on to the woman that he loved. He would do just about anything. And the woman was so desperate to be back with her ex that to get out of the marriage, she killed her loving husband. Huh? I mean, oh, yeah, and you throw that in there with, the drug vials and forged notes and a tape of you giving David his last drink. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that the verdict is going to be guilty. What do you think, Counselor?
I think my client is through answering questions. That is, unless you're offering something.
What, a plea?
No. I told you I'm not going to jail for something I didn't do. No plea bargain.
Well, that's good, because I wasn't going to offer you one.
I did love him. David saved my life. I could never do what you're accusing me of. Never.
Okay, that's enough. I have a few things to go over with you before the arraignment.
Fine. I'm innocent, Liza.
Liza sure doesn't mess around, does she?
Oh, Madison made quite an impression.
Look, I'm sorry about that. She didn't
Whatever.
mean-
It's the least of my problems.
How are you?
Good.
How are you?
I'll be okay. I'm innocent. My lawyer says I can be this, and my bail hearing's in an hour, so soon I'll be sipping margaritas on the patio. Do you care to join me?
I don't like tequila, and you don't have to pretend like you're not scared.
Takes a lot to scare me.
You've been biting your nails. I know you're scared. That gives it away.
Always have to be right, don't you?
Well, I happen to know you pretty well, Greenlee.
Yeah, and I know you too. And no matter how many times I tell you to go, you think you can help me, right?
Well, you know, that's the plan since this whole mess started, but...
What?
I mean, if there's something that you're not telling... You gotta tell me everything.
I have told you.
I don't think you have. Whatever you're not telling me,
There is nothing.
there is something, Greenlee. I know you. You gotta trust me, okay? What is it? What is it that you're not telling me?